Hi students, it's Mr. G here. Happy Monday. So let's talk a little bit about where you're supposed to be in your scientific investigation. Okay, we're looking at the 8th grade daily plan. This is the 7th grade daily plan is very similar. Okay, just might be some minor differences. So this week we are continuing our experiment. Okay, and the goal is to complete your experiment by this Friday. That way we can actually finish it in the following week. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you this morning about conclusions. Okay, so this is an important part. This is kind of, it's handout number 7. This kind of wraps up the whole scientific investigation. Okay, it's got 4 parts. I'm going to it's got each part in detail right here. Okay, and then it's got an area. You can make a copy of this and fill in. I'm going to shoot towards the, this is just sort of really briefly says what the conclusion has. Okay, so your 4 parts, we've got part 1 over here. You want to restate your question or problem statement. Okay, and now you should be able to answer that because of the experiment that you did. Okay, so if your project had something to do with, let's say, testing pollutants on plants, you were a 7th grader, and that was a life science topic, you could restate your question like, do pollutants have an effect on plant growth? And you could briefly say whether or not they do. You would then go on to state your hypothesis, okay, in if-then format, and tell us if it was supported or not supported. Okay, and you can explain why. You don't want to go into a ton of detail in your conclusion, but you could give a brief explanation why you think your hypothesis was supported or not supported. Okay, real quickly describe what you changed, which is your independent variable, and what you measured, which is your dependent variable. And then the last part, this is important. If you were to do this experiment again, what would you do differently? It can be anything from more trials, or you could like kind of shift widely in another direction. It's really up to you. Okay, if we go back to the daily plan, what's the next thing that's going to be due? Oh, and by the way, I would recommend filling out that conclusion. That way you can just copy paste to your rough draft. Okay, the next thing that's due is your rough draft. For 8th graders, that's on November 17th. For 7th graders, I believe it's the 18th. Let's double check that. Yep, it's going to be turned in through the Google Classroom. Okay, but basically a good way to get a start on this is, I showed you this in class, but I'm going to show it one more time. You can click on that rough draft handout from November 16th. Okay, and it basically walks you through all the steps of what is in a scientific investigation. This is your rough draft. This is kind of your last look at your project before you actually turn it into electronic final copy or put it up on a 3-section cardboard display. Okay, so your problem statement or your big question, you can copy and paste from that handout number 2. Your hypothesis, you can copy and paste that. Okay, you've got your research here, okay, and you want to include a summary. So you're supposed to have at least 2 different sources, and then a paragraph or 2 from each one that you use to help you out. Okay, we've got identification of variables and sort of an explanation with those. Okay, materials list, you can bullet that one. Okay, we'll just say bullet. Okay, and then procedure, which needs to be numbered. Okay, so number your step-by-step experiment and procedure. Okay, we've got your data collection, which is you basically want to put a data chart and graph there, and then your conclusion, which you can copy paste from that document that we just went over. Okay, so that's kind of a brief summary of where we should be right now in your scientific investigation. I hope that wasn't too fast. If you have questions, please ask me. And once again, I just want to stress that it's really important that you are keeping up with this, because if you're behind right now, you could get to a point where it may not even be possible for you to finish your experiment in the amount of time that is needed. Okay, thanks for watching this video, and happy Monday. Talk to you later.